Hey everyone, in today's video we're going on a tour of Villiers Island on Toronto's eastern waterfront and exploring the Portland's flood protection project. The project continues to progress with the new bridges and roads planned to open by the end of the year. A project to expand Toronto's streetcar network into the Portlands is also being designed but lacks funding. It's also important to note that this video was filmed a couple months ago, and a lot more work has been completed on the roadway and river valley since then. A small section south of the main river valley has also slowly been flooded in, the first step before eventually filling the river with water. Starting at the eastern end of the new island, from above the nearly completed Commissioner Street Bridge, the new riverbed is largely complete, and much of the wetlands surrounding the river have also come a long way with lots of plants. The new walking and cycling paths through the future park space can also be seen clearly. One of the paths goes through a carp gate, which will help keep carp out of the wetlands. Along Commissioner Street, much of the road and curbs have been paved. Along the curbs, outlets have been built which will allow rainwater to drain out into a ditch along the road with vegetation known as bioswales. Also along Commissioner Street, black boxes known as soil cells are being laid which will help improve soil conditions for better plant growth. Finally, the Commissioner Street Bridge, roadway, sidewalk, and cycle tracks have been paved. A new addition to the bridge is lights along the bottom of the bridge. These lights are also being installed on the already opened Cherry Street South Bridge and will provide better lighting at night along these bridges. Both the Commissioner Street and Cherry North bridges are planned to open at the end of the year, along with the roadways. Once the new streets are opened, Villiers Street, which is just north of Commissioners, will see some closures to allow the new river to be filled in. Looking south from Commissioners, the new riverbed is again coming along well. The intentionally dead trees along the riverbank are being protected by a temporary berm, which keep the trees from getting wet and rotting before the river is filled with water. Being tested near Commissioner Street is a Badlands Scramble play feature, one of the many play features that will be found on the islands, and will act sort of like a jungle gym for kids. New Cherry Street, south of Commissioners, has been open for a while now, but underneath the new street, construction continues. From below the Cherry South Bridge, a retaining wall is the only thing keeping the under-construction riverbed from flooding with lake water. The final part of the new river is currently being built now that Old Cherry Street has closed. New trails and park space can also be seen from underneath the bridge. Moving north to the nearly completed new Cherry Street, sidewalk, planters, roadway, and multi-use trail construction is well underway. Both Cherry North bridges have been filled in, but the roadway still needs to be paved. Along New Cherry Street between the Keating Channel and Lakeshore Boulevard, roadwork is coming along as well. At Cherry and Lakeshore, the intersection is being reconfigured to be safer and better aligned with New Cherry Street. Part of the overhaul includes it being a protected intersection, which improves visibility for turning vehicles and gives cyclists and pedestrians more priority. At the beginning of the month, City Council voted to fund further design work for the Waterfront East LRT, which will bring the streetcar network onto Villiers Island along New Cherry Street and Commissioners to a new loop on the island. While further design work is happening, the city still needs more funding from the provincial and federal government to build the project. The opening of both Cherry and Commissioner Street is exciting and a big milestone in completing the flood protection project. There's still a long time to come before the area is fully built up with transit and buildings, but the new park space and river valley construction is well underway. Thanks for watching.